sweet dog. Oh!
The timing.
Sometimes.
The timing of that was impeccable.
Hello from London Heathrow. I've flown down from Scotland and I've come to film the next episode of On the Road with Iona with the wonderful guest Bronte Law.
To me, I'm just me.
Bronte is a winner on both the LPGA and the Ladies European Tours, and she's a fiery character, so I'm really looking forward to spending some time with her today. Is it okay to say hello?
Yes, of course.
Hello.
He wants to be everyone's friend.
Oh my gosh, he's so like my dog Gilly. Just take him with us, if that's all right.
Yes.
He'll be the star of the show.
So he's allowed on the golf course here?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, here are the nets.
Okay.
Let's just have a wee,
just going straight past
something. Obviously, really appreciate you coming here today and being our next guest on the Road with Iona series. And basically, it's just about spending time together.
Perfect.
That's it. That's the start and the end.
I can do that. That's really easy.
That's all there is to it. And we'll have a wee blether on our way, but
perfect.
That's all it is.
That's what golf should always be about, right?
Exactly.
I can't believe that we're sat outside having a conversation at this time of the year.
This is mad.
It's weird.
I mean, it's been an amazing year for you. It's been an amazing life, to be honest.
I have to remind myself sometimes that, you know, I get to do what I love for a job, which, I mean, I'm so lucky and so blessed to be able to do that. There's times where you think it's hard and, you know, things aren't going your way, but you just have to kind of look at yourself in the mirror and go, you know, this is what I've wanted to do my whole life, and looking forward to the future of that and hoping that I can continue to do so for many years to come, because certainly don't want to do anything else.
Did you grow up playing golf? Which county and things did you play?
Cheshire. Yeah, my coach has been my coach since I was 7, so he's still same place at Bronte Golf Club. And
what's his name? Richard
Green. He's been a huge part of, you know, me growing up as a golfer and a person, and I'm very lucky that I've had him. It's difficult when, you know, you change coaches frequently and stuff like that, because you know, they're not just there to support you like with your golf swing. You know, they go through the motions with you, you know, the highs and the lows.
How do you think you've been able to resist the temptation to change coach when we know that in golf, you know, it's highs and lows, and so often when you're having those lows, you think you need to change something. And in golf, so often, tennis, another good example, players like to change things, their caddy, their coach, the team they have around them. How have you managed to sail the whole course with one coach? Because it's probably quite rare. I'm thinking of Rory McIlroy with Bannon. They've been together a long time, but they've even had little breaks now and again. If
I'm struggling with the game, always look within. Like I'm quite hard on myself with that respect, and I always think that there's so much more I can do to like better my golf game right now, and I don't see it as like a them thing. It's kind of like I always look at it as a me thing. So it's the same with caddies. I really don't change caddies very often because of the same kind of thing. I always think that ultimately I'm making the last decision. They're there to support me, but I'm the one that has to go and play the game at the end of the day. Unfortunately for them, they've had to stick around with me.
So who's caddying for you at the moment?
Ken Herring. So he's been my caddy for about a little over a year now. He's caddied for the likes of Thomas Bjorn and Mark Warren.
I guess with Thomas Bjorn, he's used to working, and I know Thomas, I can say this, he's used to working with a fiery character.
There you go, yeah.
Would you describe yourself as a fiery character?
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know though, it's difficult to describe yourself in that way. I think other people are probably better off at, you know, telling you kind of how they perceive you, but to me, I'm just me.
Some professional athletes talk about when they win, that it can come with a feeling of anticlimax and almost the theme of the day, getting lost. I'm gonna get the map out because we're lost.
We're actually doing some orienteering today. We are really off-roading here, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
It must be that way, maybe.
Let's get the map. And I'm wondering how it's been for you, because you're a winner now on both the Ladies European Tour and the LPGA. You had a fantastic win, the Aramco at Centurtion this year. How has that feeling been for you the day after a win?
Yeah, it's really weird because actually each win the emotions that I've experienced a couple of days after have been really different. And I think that my first win on the LPGA, it was like a dream come true. It was like, you know, kind of happened a lot earlier than I thought it would, and it was just incredible. But there was a feeling of emptiness after that win, and it took me many years after to kind of realise what it was. And then the success at Solheim, I think I slowly started to like figure out what it was that was missing. And what I always came back to, and certainly like the win in Centurion really highlighted it, is it's actually the people that you surround yourself with that are the most important people in your life. And having them around is what is the key to actually happiness. And if you don't have those people to share those successes with, what are you doing it for? And I didn't have that when I was on the LPGA. You know, I was away from home, I didn't have my family around, and I was just sharing that win with my caddy, and my caddy only. That's tough. And it made me just realise now, and I don't know whether it was a post-COVID thing as well, of spending a lot of time with my family at home and realising that, you know, those are the most important people in your life, and, you know, your friends and all of those people are, you know, what matter the most to you. And without them, you know, actually you don't have that happiness that is so important, because although, yeah, golf is my job, it's so important to be happy in your life. And when golf is such a huge part of that, it seems so necessary to make sure that those worlds come together. And yeah, for me, that's exactly what I've experienced as I've got older, is valuing and realizing the importance of the people that you surround yourself with. Golf fundamentally is just about getting the ball in the hole. And it doesn't always have to be that like super competitive, like, you know, disappointment every time you hit a bad shot or things like that. And playing casually, I find teaches me to be like a little kinder to myself in that respect. We're there.
I see a tee box.
What tees are we playing off?
Good question. Well, I'm going to go off the blues. So, I mean, we can play off whatever tees you want, and I will come with you because...
We can change each hole, can't we?
Yeah, we can.
Whichever one we want.
But when it comes to ladies golf, on the LPGA,
yes,
what's the average length?
Honestly, it really depends from week to week. I'd say somewhere between 6.5 and 6.8 is standard.
Yeah.
But we've played nearly 7,000 at one of the events, which
You're kidding.
is just wild.
Even
So-
6.5 and 6.8 is even,
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big golf course.
We do play a lot longer than what would be reflective of the men's distances in the distance that they hit the ball.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, I'd say that we hit a lot more 5 irons, woods into par 4s and par 3s than the men do on their tour.
Why do you think that is?
I just think there's something to do with people like to see our yardage higher. I don't know why, because it's like any other sport. We can't really compete with the men. You know,
No.
we're built differently. That's just genetics. You know, I can't change that. Although I'd love to be able to hit it as far as they do.
Yeah.
I just can't. No matter how many hours in the gym, it won't really, you know, ever make that much of a difference with regards to being able to hit it the same distance that they do. So I think there is some sort of like stigma that is associated with shortening the courses and making it seem like we're lesser, but we are. So actually, I'd rather see us play more similar yardages to what, you know, they play with regards to their length.
Yeah, reflect the output.
Because actually, if you look at our statistics, for the length that we play, we're pretty good.
You're better, probably.
Because we have to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you make it harder for you, the ladies on the LPGA and the LET, you know, that's not, like you say, it's not what people really want to watch. Golf is a hard game.
Yeah.
Like, if you play a golf course that's 5,000 yards, it's a hard game. Because ultimately, you're going to get to a point where you have a 5-foot putt and you have to get the ball in the hole.
And you still have to play against 150 other people.
Yeah.
So shortening it doesn't just correlate to, okay, like, you know, not the best player wins, because I firmly believe that if a golf course is difficult and is well set up, even if you make it shorter, you still have to play good golf to be able to win. I find that on courses where it's more of a lottery, then okay, yeah, it's a little different. But on a good golf course, I don't believe that shortening the golf course will, you know, necessarily go, okay, someone who wouldn't usually win is going to win, because you still have to be good at golf. You know, you still have to have all of the tools in your bag.
Yeah.
The hardest shot of the day, the first tee shot.
The first one. There's always this comparison, right, to the men's game. You know, we see the men's game is here and the women's is always catching up. And I'm not so sure it's about catching up with the men, and rather just growing and trying to get to where the women's game can be. But the men's game is obviously a good benchmark. But what's next? What needs to happen, in your opinion, to try and bridge that gap and show the world what women's professional golf has to offer, and by default, what golf has to offer to women around the world?
I would like to see us not be compared to the men so much, and actually for us to stand alone and be respected without, you know, having to compare us to them, because we do play a different game, I think, and we do it very well. You know, I think that there's an incredible amount of talent that we have in the women's game. It's as strong as it has ever been, but at times we're pulled down because we can't hit the ball as far. We're playing courses that are longer than our male counterparts with respect to how far we can hit the ball. And I think that I would love to see golf courses that are a little shorter, that actually we're hitting the same, you know, clubs into greens that the men are. So we'd be hitting a 7-iron if they're hitting a 7-iron, not a 3-wood, which at times we do that. And I think then we'll actually create a product that is, you know, better to sell. I think that ultimately we're a commodity, and the men's product is being set up a little better than ours is right now.
People, you know, these kind of, for anyone, but particularly like higher handicappers that play in these pro-ams and play in these events, I have so much respect for them.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm like, the heart must be falling on the floor with how nerve-wracking that moment before you take the driver away. Everything is so quiet and so still. You can hear your own heartbeat in your ears. 130.
Yeah, I get that. So that's good. We've got the same distance. That's a good start.
Oh, it's nearly in the hole. That is absolutely absurd. And she was moaning, she was like, I can't do it without my caddy here. She's just nearly holed 2 shots.
Okay, stay left.
So, Bronte, you are technically our 5th guest on the Road with Iona. And already the difference between playing with, you know, a kind of weekend golfer, if you like, versus a professional is quite incredible. It's startlingly different. in terms of just the way you approach things, because this is your job.
Yes.
Whereas for most people, this is their hobby.
Yeah.
So you just pitch up and it's a little chip here and a little this, that, there, and the next thing.
It is very different. I almost at times, like so many people play golf as like a hobby and to enjoy themselves, and like I absolutely love it. But I kind of do almost like envy them at times, because I'm like, they get to do this for fun and don't have to worry about anything else.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Sit.
Oh,
Yes!
look at that. Put it
A
inside.
shot through the air. Woo!
Acting like, you know, you don't know how to play it and then making me look like the amateur.
Hardly. You've always struck me as someone with a real strength of character, and there's, you know, many different ways you could probably expand on that the more one gets to know you. But that's something that I feel even more certain about, having spent more time with you today, and it's impressive, and I'm wondering where you get that from.
Well, thank you. I don't know. I think that you're very much a product of the environment that you've spent time in. So I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of my parents, and you know, the kind of outlook on life that they have has certainly had a huge impact on me. I try and be a better golfer every day when I wake up, but equally try and be a better human as well. And I think that kind of that's maybe where that comes from. I think it's really important that sometimes we forget like the value of life, and you know, you go through these roller coaster of emotions because of the job that we do, and it's so easy to get tied up in golf, but actually, like, I think maybe being locked in our homes for you know, an extended period of time taught us how important it is to take each moment and enjoy it as much as you can. Doesn't mean to say that there's not going to be times when life's hard, but look at it as like part of your, you know, journey, and that's going to make you stronger in the long run. And I think that that's kind of what's kept me going. You know, I've not had the success in the last couple of years that I kind of foresaw myself achieving, but I've not let it like put me down. I see it as like part of my journey, and you know, I think that the next couple of years for me are going to be really big years for me, whether that's on or off the golf course. But I personally feel like my game is heading in a really good direction, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. And yeah, I'm very lucky to be where I am, and I take each day, you know, as it comes, and try and achieve as much as I can. I love how they allow dogs out here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I feel like that should be every golf course.
I agree.
Right? I mean, they're better behaved than most humans, so.
Can't disagree with that.
I
Shot.
will take that one. Nice. Crazy, isn't it? You know, like even for me, I'd teach the same thing to someone who's starting golf, yet even at my level, it's still the same things that are the most important things. And that's what's so great about golf, is if you do the fundamentals right, you can naturally be quite a successful golfer. Oh yeah, nice.
There she is. Bronte, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was an absolute pleasure.
So much fun. I really enjoyed it. Let's get
We'll have to do it again.